You may be seated. Thank you very much, honorable members, and welcome back from lunch. We are now going to be debating the reports. We now come to the debate of the report of Portfolio Committee, Human Settlements. Therefore, I will call upon the Secretary to read the next order of the day.
Consideration of report of Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements and Oversight Visits to Housing Projects around Nelson Mandela Metropolitan Municipality.
Okay, I'll now call upon the DA, the Honorable King.
Yes, my dear.
You have 9 minutes, Honorable Member, and it starts now. Thank you.
Acting Premier, Chairperson, Speaker, members and community at large. We gather here to confront the harsh reality, the ongoing failure of Nelson Mandela Bay Metropolitan Municipality to deliver decent, dignified houses for its residents. Housing is not just a basic need, it is a fundamental human right. It is the cornerstone upon which stable, thriving communities are built. It provides safety, security, and a foundation for every other aspect of our lives. Yet, for far too many people in this municipality, this right remains an unfulfilled promise. Nelson Mandela Bay Metropolitan Municipality has a housing backlog of 78,990, requiring 14 billion rand to complete over a period of 28 years, and rectification backlog of 20,869 to be eradicated over 22 years. This municipality received 208,864,650 rand in HSD grants for 53 projects, of which only 1,114 new units will be prioritized this financial year, and 316 houses to be rectified. 18.7 million rand spent to date, and a possible 189.7 million will not be spent. These statistical figures are not just numbers. They represent real lives impacted by systemic failure of governance. These systemic failures often exacerbate existing inequalities. The backlog in housing delivery has reached critical levels. Families are forced to live in substandard conditions in informal settlements without access to basic services like clean water, sanitation, and electricity. Many of our people have been waiting for years, decades even, on the promise of proper housing, only to see the hopes dashed time and again. Equally so, the lack of adequate funding to complete housing projects has a ripple effect in communities, which leads to unsustainable growth of informal settlements, further exacerbating social inequalities and perpetuating the cycle of poverty. The people of Nelson Mandela Bay deserve better. The work of the Portfolio Committee of Human Settlements often deals with what most consider the mundane. The very term human settlements speaks to more than just land and structures. It encapsulates families and the lives that unfold within those walls. Our pre-visit to 7 housing projects gave an insightful view of how these housing projects unfolded and mirrored the sentiments of communities. The quality of construction at all projects were below par. Substandard building materials was used. The layer of foundation slab construction will inevitably lead to cracks in the foundation, which will lead to plumbing defects and cracks to the walls, poor quality doors installed, thin layering of cement to walls causing water to seep through when it rains. Water and Sanitation Department of the municipality failure to construct suitable stormwater drainage and sewage systems, causing major structural problems. No storage facility and security for safeguarding building material. Contractors leaving their debris after completion, making it inaccessible for the elderly and the physically challenged individuals to have access to their homes. Communities were frustrated, and rightfully so. Completed houses have no electricity because the municipality's electricity engineering department don't have money to transfer electricity from the shack to the house, leaving communities in perpetual darkness, making them susceptible to crime. This failure has caused construction companies to be in the red financially because of non-payment from the municipality, even though electrification is not part of their mandate. With no interlinking ICT system to verify and locate beneficiaries, some beneficiaries found themselves taken off beneficiary lists, and some are told they don't qualify anymore because their financial position has changed, even though housing projects took multiple years to reach completion. Slow progress to fast-track housing delivery and avoiding project abandonment is a catalyst for corruption and extortion within this metro. We must be clear, this is not just a failure of service delivery, it is a failure of unstable and inconsistent governance. It is a betrayal of the values of Nelson Mandela, values of human rights, dignity, justice, and equality for all. It is a betrayal of the worst kind, when siding with the breakers to govern to the detriment of this municipality, instead of siding with the builders to benefit the people of this municipality. The people of Nelson Mandela Bay deserve leadership who understand their oath of office of servanthood to their people, not to themselves and to their own pockets. Quis custodius ipsos custodis is a Latin phrase meaning who will guard the guard, which is most fitting when we consider the failure of accountable leadership in NMB. This failure cannot continue. It is time for immediate action. Municipal leadership must account for delays and inefficiency in housing delivery, ring-fencing of electrification budget at the start of the construction phase, conduct a pilot study between the province and the metro on digitization of the beneficiary verification to minimize human error and the manipulation of beneficiary lists. We call for greater collaboration between the province, municipality, law enforcement, together with the private sector to pull together finances and resources to address the housing crisis and extortionist syndicate plaguing this metro. To address the current backlog, set up a comprehensive plan for alternative building technologies. Now listen to this. The irony of native units in Nelson Mandela Bay. Besides poorly constructed houses and slow title deed distribution, residents of Motherwell and Umdansani is subjected to native units classification as per the Native Act of 1950. Province, together with municipalities of NMB and BCM, must address the classification of native unit areas to have transformative spatial planning. Proverbs 31 verse 8 says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the right of all who are destitute." Cynthia Tuwane, a Ward 27 resident in Vleerplaas, is a destitute lady who was crying for help in a flooded house 2 days ago. Heartbroken of empty promises to be relocated to a housing project which never materialized.
Honorable
This is
Member.
not the Eastern Cape Mama Tuwane envisioned. It is not just a matter of mortar. It is about restoring the dignity of our people. The human in humans must never be neglected in the manner in which it already has in the Eastern Cape. Be reminded by the words of W.B. Yeats. what is at stake. Open quote. I, being poor, have only my dreams. I've spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you are treading on my dreams. Close quote. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Vena, you have 5 minutes and it starts now. Please make use of it.
Thank you very much, Slalo session. Greetings to the leadership of the institution, especially the leadership of a stable municipality politically, which is called Nelson Mandela. There is no crisis here in Nelson Mandela politically. We must put it clear that here there is leadership, and it was elected in 2021, is still intact like that. We know that you are flirting with the DA. We're now MEC. We are flirting with the DA. You want to bring the DA here. You can bring those things, but the issue here, Nelson Mandela knows their own leadership. I thought I must start there. Number two, MEC, you are my sister. We are both from here. I know you have inherited a department which have serious challenges. And when we came here as a committee, we have seen a lot of things that I think, they started over. They have historical challenges. You know, there was an M3 agreement here. And you know that the department in Nelson Mandela has not been building houses for a very long time, which resulted in the previous administration, we lost about 100 million. And we do not want that to happen again. So we are here to say we will give support, especially if you address the issue of stabilizing the administration. We have seen that there is a serious issue of many people acting in that department of yours, and which create instability. But as a result, there are always monies that return, and they are taken to other provinces. So we do not want a situation where we do not spend. And also we were made aware that there is a lot of promises that are made around the rectification, which, as per the policy, you can only use 10% of the budget. And now if you promise people of Nelson Mandela about rectification, whereas we have serious challenges in housing delivery, you are creating a problem. So we are cautioning politicians that are coming to Nelson Mandela, especially the minister who promised that within this financial year, there will be a delivery of 500 houses being rectified, which was very reckless. We are here also to raise a serious issue of your staff, which raised to us that we are confronted with a serious issue here of construction mafia. We rose and asked, what is that?
Honorable Vena, you have 2 minutes left.
All right. We have asked, what is that? Because we give support to people who are ready to do business, people who are ready to assist us in delivering housing. What is construction mafia? If they are criminals, we've got law enforcement. Let's deal with it. Let's put our foot down and make sure that no project gets stopped because of there are people who are extorting either the construction people or the staff. They are threatening the staff. But when I'm sitting down, MEC, in your department, I want you to please pay attention on the issues of people, on the houses that were built on a floodplain. There are houses here in Ward 38. I've met one family of Utatuchul that the whole block, the whole street is built on a floodplain. It's a house, they are ready to be relocated. It's the house built by the government of the ANC. the government of the previous regime is the ANC. It has built on a floodplain. We so wish that we can prioritize those families because those houses are not even shacks now. They are in a state where you go and occupy land somewhere and you build a proper shack there. But it's just a plea from our side. When I'm sitting down, chair of the session, I think I must say it here that we are ready to give support, and we support the report of the committee, because that is an oversight committee that is here to see to it that we don't lose our money and we service our people. Thank you very much, Sihlalo Ngaphambi.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Buya. Come this side. You can't speak while you are there. Usangxi. Honorable Boy, you have 3 minutes, and your 3 minutes starts now. Or maybe before your 3 minutes starts, honorable members, when you see that a member is approaching his or her conclusion, we have 2 seats here which are meant for you. So can we please ensure that we utilize them? Thank you very much. In that case, maybe Honorable May can make his way here, because Honorable Buya has only 3 minutes, and it starts now.
Let me first say we are acknowledging the report. It is a fruitful report, yet it is speaking in line with what the communities are saying. When I sit and listening to the report and listening to the people on the ground, it says one thing, because they are all speaking in one thing of having houses in Nelson Mandela. But the only issue that we need to check and be very stressed on it, because we are seeing government is frustrated by rectification, of which rectification can also be prevented when the appointment of contractors are being done. Because firstly, you need to make sure that the contractor meets the requirements of supply chain. Then thereafter, the contractor must make aware that they will not benefit by building with the poor materials, so that they want to come for rectification. So those are the things that we need to make sure that we are stressing on it. Honorable Chair, I would like to say, the waiting list of RDP houses, they must make available for the public, so that those who went to housing and apply for RDP houses, they must know that they are on the system for the waiting list or they are not, so that they are not keep on going there and go and check for themselves, because it costs money for the people to go up and down. Also, with the relocation of issue, I would like the department to do the educational program. Because before you relocate those people, you must first engage with them and educate with them and tell them we are taking you from here to there in the benefits of the condition of betterment, the condition of you are residing here to the better places, so that it can be a willingness of that person to relocate or not. So that the government and the people must try to come together and work hand in hand in order to fulfill this thing of relocation. Other than that, Honorable Chair, I would also like to address the issue of the Sanalpan's piece of land. There is a big problem there, Chair. That land was serviced many years back then. That land have got a bulk sewer system that was installed there. That land is pegged. Initially, that land on the municipal documents, it speaks about the development of RDP houses. But now yet the municipality is saying they will relocate the people of St. Albans to wherever they see it's suitable for them. And before those processes are starting, Honorable Chair, I would like the process of educating the people of what any process that will come up in their relocation, they must make aware and everyone must be agreed on it. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Boya. I'll now call upon Honorable May. Honorable May, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you,
Starts now. Thank you.
The Nelson Mandela Metro have a housing backlog of plus minus 80,000 units. Die doel van die Departement van Menslike Nedersettings is om behoorlike en volhoubare behuising te verskaf. What are the challenges facing human settlements in the Nelson Mandela Metro? Not only in the Nelson Mandela Metro, but also in South Africa. Population growth is too high. Migration from Africa, water and electricity, houses completed without electricity, need for reliable transport systems, one of our big problems. Overcrowding and poor sanitation is also a big problem. Die Vryheidsfront Plus sien geen oplossing op die agterstand van behuising in metro's op. Waarom sê ek so? 69% of the people from the rural areas are moving to the metro seeking employment. En plaas verdere druk op die Departement van Menslike Nedersetting. Jobs must be created in the rural areas. The Attorney General is concerned about the termination of construction contracts and the reasons for the termination. The Department of Human Settlements must have policies to deal with contractors that were guilty of non-performance and breach of contracts. An example is Kayamandi. The project started in 2018. 7 years later, it's not yet completed. And the money is available, but no contractor on the site. Underperformance is one of the biggest problems and must be avoided in the future. The agreements with the contractor should be clear. For instance, no final payments if the rubble is not removed. Contractors who underperformed or did not perform at all should be barred from government projects. It is general knowledge that the main contractor appoints subcontractors. Therefore, the departments must see that the main contractors are being paid on time so that they can pay the subcontractors. Employee misconduct, especially where overpayments were made to service providers, should not be allowed, and criminal cases must be opened. The Freedom Front do not support the one project in KwaNobuhle on your way to the N2. Stay away from cheap building methods and make use of bricks and cement blocks. Ek wil net vir u sê die belangrikste ding op enige bouperseel is die projekbestuurder. 'n Projekbestuurder kyk na alles. Is die sement reg gemeng? Hy stuur toetse na PPC om te kyk dat dit reg is. Honderde huise in die Oos-Kaap is al afgebreek omrede daar geen ordentlike projekbestuurder is, nie van die kant van die kontrakteur of van die kant van die departement nie. Dit is geld wat vermors word. Ons moet so optree dat ons daardie geld wat vermors word eerder kan aanwend om nog behuising te bou. Suid-Afrika se mense soek behuising. Dit is noodsaaklik. Elke mens moet 'n huis hê te trots. Baie dankie, voorsitter.
Ngos. I now call upon Honorable Nobo, MK Party. You have 3 minutes, Honorable Nobo.
Mandibulise mhlali ngaphambili, Honorable Stalo, Honorable members. Diabakani. Oh. Honorable members, I think if you do not get a house, to you don't see the housing delivery meaningful. The housing delivery will only be meaningful to you when you get a house. According to this report, you will find that there are delays in housing delivery. These delays are caused by many factors, and some of the factors are policy factors, of which I strongly believe that if the department can look at those policies and try to change to avoid delays. Honorable Speaker, in this report there is a which is a concern. You will find that here, housing, people, they are struggling, they are swimming. You see, there are no houses, but still money is there. Houses are not built. The question is why? I think there are many factors of which you can even change because you've got all powers to change all policies that are not in line with helping of the poor people. We cannot allow a situation where our people wait for many years waiting for houses. We have seen others, they even die without getting a house. Losing a house or not having a house, it is a stripping off of your dignity. When you don't have a house, it means your dignity is compromised. I think this is time now to learn to be fast in doing these things because we are dealing with people here who are really struggling. We have seen tears. They are crying, literally tears, because of the lack of housing. Madam Speaker, low spending is a concern. Those people who are not working or powerless or no capacity to do the job, Honorable Speaker, those people must be removed and place good people who are going to take care of the poor people. This is serious. People are crying. There is a door here. The door is not in good quality. And then, what is strange, the door meets the specification.
Nkosi Mhlekazi. Nkosi Tata.
I thank you. Ay, it's in that place,
I now call upon the ANC, Honorable Mchachubana. Honorable Mchachubana, you have 14 minutes.
Thank you
14
very
minutes
much,
and it starts
Deputy
now.
Speaker.
Thank you.
The acting premier, members of the Executive Council, the chief whip of the ruling party, honorable members, councillors of Nelson Mandela, those who are here, religious leaders and traditional leaders, heads of departments, our esteemed guests, and most importantly, the people of Nelson Mandela Metro, I greet you all. House Chair, as I begin this debate here, we must also take this opportunity to honor our fallen heroes who recently departed. Former ministers Pravim Gordhan, Tito Mboweni, Membathi Mdladlana. We pay salutations to their contribution in the struggle to liberate our people from the jaws of apartheid colonialism. We thank them for standing up for truth, no matter how unpopular they will become. House Chair, I think Tito Mboweni would have summed up all the input on my left-hand side as lacking substance and a sheer criticism of the lowest common multiplier, loosely translated as the multiplication of large amounts of nothing. Chairperson, we wish to appreciate the programming committee for deciding to take the 2024
Honourable Deputy
TLTP
Speaker.
to the Nelson Mandela Metro. This has exposed members of the...
Konjwa.
Is the honourable member
What's the
willing
color of the hand?
is the honourable member willing to take a question, Honourable Deputy Speaker?
This has exposed
Seemingly not.
members of the legislature to the
Seemingly
challenges
not.
faced by our people in the metro. There is leadership crisis in this metro, and the time is now, and we are hoping that the people of Nelson Mandela will liberate themselves. We believe that in the next few days, the people of Nelson Mandela will get their much-deserved leadership because they deserve better. Honorable Speaker, I stand here today to debate a matter of utmost importance, the human settlements in the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan Municipality, reaffirming the commitment of the African National Congress to transform the apartheid spatial form, building sustainable and integrated human settlements that are spaces for democracy in action. Madam Speaker, Chairperson, the remnants of apartheid spatial planning have kept our people marginalized, underdeveloped, and languish in poverty for far too long. But let us be clear, it is the African National Congress and only the African National Congress that has made strides to dismantle this legacy brick by brick and house by house. Our townships and communal settlements are still being devastated by storms and floods as a result of this separate development, which has left their possessions of irreparable damage. The wealthy neighborhoods for our nation's privilege, few can claim the same. Chairperson, the commitment to improving ordinary South Africans as enshrined in the Freedom Charter, which boldly declared that there shall be houses, security and comfort. This timeless commitment, honorable members, demands that we strive for the Cape where every citizen lives in dignity, safe from shadows of poverty and inequality. As the African National Congress, we acknowledge the road to achieving socio-economic transformation has not been easy. However, we shall redouble our efforts to ensure that we achieve a better life for all as mandated by our people. During our oversight visit in Nelson Mandela Metro, we were exposed to both progress and setbacks in our human settlements projects. It is unacceptable that this metro has consistently understated its housing delivery targets and failed to completely spend its allocated funding for several years. We continue as the ANC government to dispatch money to this municipality, but the lack of leadership in this municipality has affected the delivery of services to our people. We wish to further encourage the Department of Human Settlement to continue working together with the municipality, particularly with a glorious picture that is coming in the next days, to create a credible housing pipeline that will provide the disadvantaged members of the community with the suitable housing they genuinely deserve and desire. For example, Chairperson, 52 units remain incomplete due to budgetary constraints, and the quality of completed homes is questionable. With water seeping through windows and doors, we cannot allow our people to live in homes that do not meet basic quality standards, which is why we have called for urgent remedial action to address this issue. The contractors working on this project and others that have structural defects must be held accountable without fail. In Uitenhage, we found that delays in construction were exacerbated by theft of building materials and slow beneficiary approval. It is travesty when our people wait for years in order to get homes, only to face further delays due to inefficiencies. Or Tambo once said, the fight for freedom must go until it is won. Honorable Chairperson, as the African National Congress, we view this delivery of human settlement as part of that fight, and these words should inspire us to accelerate our work to ensure that the promise of freedom extends to decent home for every South African. In Motherwell, only 44 units have been completed in 15 months, a situation that is also unacceptable. But let us not forget that the construction mafias and criminal elements that are becoming emboldened day by day are one of the key factors hindering the progress in these projects and other projects such as Maswanganaville. The department must work with determination to frustrate these projects, ensuring safety and dignity of beneficiaries and those working on the projects. Chairperson, we have noted concerns that there are instances where local emerging contractors are ignored or not paid on time. We remain firm behind the government's decision of driving radical economic transformation through the rollout of human settlements. The Housing Development Agency must expedite payments to contractors in projects such as Motherwell NU12C and the Dispatch Kayamnandi 479 to prevent further delays. Delays on non-payment of contractors do not only affect housing delivery, but impact severely on those who are in the employ and are now breadwinners in their families. The Portfolio Committee calls upon the municipality to prioritize the provision of bulk services as the absence of electricity, proper drainage system renders the new homes inhabitable. Our visit here, Chairperson, has exposed the hypocrisy incapacity and lack thereof if there is any form of leadership in the EFF. The MMC responsible for infrastructure metro is from the EFF and did not even honor our visits when we were here. A clear demonstration that the EFF has no clue of what it is to govern of our people, particularly the poor and the toiling masses. It is becoming more clear, Chairperson, that beyond wearing gumboots and kitchenware and macarapas, you need brains in order to deliver services to our people. In pursuit of sustainable human settlements, we must be mindful of catering for vulnerable groups. This is the sentiment that must guide us as we prioritize the elderly, disabled, and child-held households in human settlements. They must be the first to benefit from the projects that I've mentioned, ensuring that they can live in comfort and dignity. As we look to the future, Chairperson, we must continue to innovate, find new ways to scale up housing delivery. The Eastern Cape Department of Human Settlements must continue to explore alternative solutions to ensure that municipalities have bulk services they need to connect to new housing projects. Chairperson, the government of the African National Congress will continue to push forward. True to our progressive policy positions, we will ensure that our human settlement projects benefit local contractors and continue to empower local communities. Unlike the empty promises that are made by our political opponents on the left, we believe in real, tangible, and socio-economic transformation. This metro has an incredible potential for growth and development. We must not only address the current human settlement challenges, but also plan for sustainable, future-proof communities. In closing, Chairperson, let us reaffirm our commitment to build an Eastern Cape where everyone has an access to decent shelter, where the dignity of our people is restored, where the African National Congress continues to lead with strength, compassion, and integrity. Let us not be distracted by noise of naysayers who offer nothing but criticism. The African National Congress is the party of the people, for the people, and with the people. Remembering the words of Nelson Mandela, after whom this great metro is named, it always seemed impossible until it's done, close quote. The human settlement changes in Nelson Mandela are significant, and they are not insurmountable. With our robust oversight and dedication of the department, we will overcome this obstacle. We continue to build not just houses, but homes. We will create not just settlements, but communities. We will realize not just program, but a fundamental human right. The ANC supports the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Mchachubana. I now call upon the MEC, Honorable Luciti. Honorable MEC, you have 10 minutes and it starts now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Greetings again to yourself, the Acting Premier, all the honorable members that are present in the House, the HOD, all government officials. Again, it is an honor for me on behalf of the Department of Human Settlement to stand before this House to accept the Portfolio Committee report for the pre-visits conducted as part of taking Legislature to the People program. This initiative is vital, and it's a vital component of our democracy, allowing government representatives to engage directly with the people, hear their concerns, and more importantly, respond to their needs. The pre-visits have provided us with an invaluable insight into the challenges that our communities face and have reminded us of the urgency and the importance of our work. We extend our heartfelt solidarity to those that are affected by the recent disruptive weather in the metro. We recognize urgent need for assistance, and in response, both the Department of Human Settlements and the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure are working swiftly to land parcels and temporary residential units for displaced families. In the meantime, we are providing vital relief in the form of blankets mattresses, sanitary dignity packs, and items to meet their immediate needs. We are also working closely with the local municipality, non-governmental organizations, and other stakeholders to ensure that the affected communities receive continuous support, including access to clean water, food supplies, and healthcare services. Furthermore, we are committed to a long-term recovery efforts which will involve rebuilding homes, improving infrastructure, and ensuring that our communities are more resilient to future environmental challenges. Our teams are on the ground, assessing the full extent of the damage, and we are working around the clock to restore a sense of normality for those families. We remain resolute in our mission to provide safe, dignified housing and to ensure that no one is left behind in the time of crisis. As the Department of Human Settlement, we are acutely aware that the needs of our people far exceed the resources that are available. The Human Settlements Development Grant has been severely impacted by the reprioritization of government spending. For the 24-25 financial year, the budget allocation for our department has once again been reduced, including the allocation for this region. Despite these financial constraints, the Eastern Cape Department of Human Settlements remains committed to delivering on our mandate. The regional allocation for this financial year of 208,854,650 will be utilized to build 1,114 new housing units, and this will cater for our vulnerable groups such as the elderly, people living with disabilities, military veterans, child-headed households, and those facing emergency housing needs. In addition to the new housing units, the department has been tasked with the rectification of 316 units, and this brings us to a total number of 53 projects in the Nelson Mandela Metro, with 44 of these projects that are currently active, and the 9 projects being in the process of the final account closures, ensuring that financial accountability and transparency is present in the work that we do. Our focus is on building sustainable, resilient communities. And as such, we are not providing houses, but improving the overall living environment. This includes upgrading of informal settlements and providing social and economic amenities that foster a better quality of life. To address the historical backlog, we are systematically unblocking historically blocked projects that have long hampered our progress. At the same time, we are accelerating the registration and the issuance of title deeds to homeowners, which gives our people the security of home ownership and contributes to economic empowerment. Honorable Speaker, at the start of the 23-24 financial year, we faced a challenge of 87 blocked projects, 16 of which were in the Nelson Mandela Metro. To date, we have successfully unblocked 8 of these projects and have concrete plans in place to address the remaining ones. Speaking of empowerment, we remain steadfast in our commitment to increasing opportunities for our small, medium, and micro enterprises, particularly those that are led by women and youth. We believe that economic empowerment is key to breaking the cycle of poverty and inequality, and housing projects provide a significant platform for local business growth. Honorable Deputy Speaker, our approach to human settlement is not static. We are progressively adopting innovative, sustainable building technologies that are more efficient, more cost-effective, and environmentally friendly. These technologies are crucial to ensuring that we meet the housing demands of our people, even with the limited resources. Furthermore, we are fostering enhanced partnerships with social partners, including civil society and the private sector, to leverage additional resources and expertise. In our pursuit of improved service delivery outcomes, the functionality of the department remains a top priority. We are continuously working on enhancing the operational efficiency of our department to ensure that we deliver services more efficiently and more effectively, and our resources are used optimally. However, we cannot ignore the reality reflected in our performance over the past years. And while the department has made strides, we have significant challenges that we faced. While we faced these significant challenges, the department has made great strides. For instance, in the 23-24 financial year, we had a target of 1,082 units for Nelson Mandela Metro, and I'm pleased to report that we by completing 1,087 units. Despite such progress, way to go. The challenges facing human settlements, particularly the ever-growing demand for decent housing, population movement to economically active cities, requires that in a more coordinated and collaborative manner between the department and the municipality. To achieve the noble goal of establishing integrated, sustainable human settlements in the metro, collaboration is essential. The stability of the municipal council plays a critical role in meeting the needs of our people, and this was clearly demonstrated during the period of instability under the DA leadership here. What Honorable Deputy Speaker, forgot to mention in her statistics is that the Nelson Mandela experienced the worst performance on human settlements under the reign of the DA leadership. In the 21-22 financial year, where the dismal achievement of 27 units was presented. 27 units on a target of 915 units, you only achieved 27. And you want to come here and tell us about an ongoing failure. But don't worry, that failure is not ongoing, because in the past financial year, we overachieved, achieved beyond the expectation, and that comes under the MMC of the African National Congress. Our commitment is clear. We will continue to prioritize vulnerable groups, tackle the backlog of systematically the projects outlined in this report, such as those for destitute households, military veterans, and rectification of existing units, are already underway and will be delivered as promised. Honorable members, the Department of Human Settlement is fully aware of the weight of responsibility we carry. Okay. The expectations of our people are high, and rightly so. While we face budgetary constraints and other challenges, we remain focused on delivering sustainable, dignified housing solutions that will improve the quality of life for the people of the Eastern Cape. We want to thank the Portfolio Committee for its diligent oversight, and I look forward to the continued support of this House as we work to meet our commitments to the people. Together, we will build homes, we will strengthen communities, and create a province where every citizen has a place they can call home. I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. Honorable members, I put the report of the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements. Any objections? Thank you very much. We now come to the debate of the report of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety by honorable members. Honorable Kasim, you have 9 minutes, and it starts now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, it is important to acknowledge that our battle for safe communities in Nelson Mandela Bay is made all the more difficult by the inability of the Metro government here in Nelson Mandela Bay to deliver services under the current coalition of dysfunction. The inability to ensure that communities and walkways are lit, bushes are cleared, and electricity infrastructure is maintained has created the ideal playground for criminals. The electricity outages during the floods this week left our communities vulnerable, and the inability to effectively and efficiently upgrade temporary connections remains a disgrace. On Tuesday, we decided as MPLs of this House to abandon our sitting and instead join our communities on the ground. And what an absolute embarrassment it was. I was in the team in the Lillian Diedrichs cluster being led by the Honorable Kobeshiani, and we had the Speaker of NMB, Councillor Eugene Johnson, with us. And at first we were told that there are only 2 suction trucks in the city, and that the reason that they cannot assist the community in Extension 32 in Ward 37 is because one of them is prioritized in Missionvale. But when we got to Missionvale, we learned that the truck was never there. The Speaker of Council then said that she's committed to ensure that on Tuesday still, the truck would arrive. And the truck only arrived this morning, honorable members. 2 days later, that community was under water. And the members that were with us will remember that en route we encountered electricity sparking at 15 Limpopo Street in Missionvale. threatening to cause a fire that would wipe out the surrounding community. And the Speaker of Council was with us and made calls to the Electricity Department, and I agree with you, Honorable Judge Ubana, that's under the EFF MMC. And no one has come out right up until today. Now, this is just a taste of the frustrations that are being faced by residents and by ward councillors, not only DA ward councillors, but ANC ward councillors as well. And if the Speaker of Council can't get a response, the residents of our city have. Yesterday, during the debate of public importance, MEC Ngata indicated that we require a whole-of-government approach. Our visits in Nelson Mandela Bay during the pre-visits confirmed this. What is that the cooperation agreement signed will not add the value that you want unless the coalition of builders replaces the coalition of breakers here in Nelson Mandela Bay. I would also like to agree with you, MEC, that we must support our officers in blue. We appreciate the efforts made by the Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Mene, Commander Major General Ngata, and their teams under difficult conditions. And I would personally like to appreciate your responsiveness to the issues that we have raised whenever we have contacted you. It doesn't, however, help them, MEC, when your caucus is made to clap for additional 300 officers in NMB, which are not additional at all. And we have had this debate. These 300 officers are part of the 10,000 annual recruitment which is allocated to districts across the country and was going to be deployed anyways. It is not additional boots on the ground in response to the current crisis that we are fighting. And even after this deployment, Nelson Mandela Bay is still short 282 officers compared to its fixed establishment of funded posts, and the real need in our city is even more than the fixed establishment that has been created. The impact of the shortage of visible officers is contained in the report before the House, and the caseload on detectives has contributed to justice not being done. This was sharply raised by your department, MEC, during our visits. Yesterday, you spoke about the arrests that are taking place. But I'd like to remind you that arrests do not equal convictions. In fact, the conviction rate for murder has been just 8%. And your own department raised serious concerns with respect to charge sheets being struck off the court roll and withdrawn due to investigators not complying with the instructions of prosecutors, not delivering case dockets timelessly, incomplete investigations, witnesses not subpoenaed, and unavailable DNA forensic analysis, primarily because the workload being placed on detectives because of the shortage of detectives is not sustainable. This shortage of officers is also felt by the anti-gang unit, which is understaffed. The AGU has a 35% vacancy rate as per its establishment. However, the establishment itself is not sufficient to deal with the scale of gangsterism in our communities. Vehicle shortages have also prevented SAPs from being responsive or as visible as they would like to be. 122 vehicles are either in the garage or not procured as per the vehicles that are granted to this district. In fact, this represents 26% of the granted vehicles to this district. A further deficiency highlighted was the fact that there is no database for community patrol structures and patrollers, and the working relationship between CPFs and SAPs and between CPFs and their own communities is strained, and we heard that this morning. Furthermore, private security companies were not identified as stated partners by both SAPs and the Community Safety Department. Honorable MEC, our province should establish a neighborhood watch support policy to tie in neighborhood watch groups, patrollers in communities through you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and private security role players with CPFs and law enforcement authorities. Our communities are still aggrieved with the fact...
Sorry, Honorable Kasim.
Please save my time, Deputy.
Yes, I'm saving it. Honorable Member, on what point are you raising on?
Honorable Deputy Speaker, may I direct the member to Rule 85? Maybe get that he must direct to the presiding officer, not to the MEC. That's what Rule 85 says.
Through you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Through you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, our communities are still aggrieved with the fact that the patrollers receiving a stipend are only in New Brighton, Kwadwesi, and Motherwell. And MEC,
Sorry, Honorable Kasim. On what point are you raising on, Honorable Member?
Rising on Rule 80, Sub-Rule 2.
Get closer to the mic, Honorable Saziwa.
Rising in terms of Rule 80, Sub-Rule 2.
I don't have time for a question, but maybe after the sit-in, Honorable Sasiwa, we can have a discussion. That's fine.
Okay, you may continue. Thank you.
Our communities are still aggrieved, and MEC, I know that through you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that you have said that this was a pilot. But the people of the northern areas and Kariga have asked the question, not spread the pilot into different communities of Nelson Mandela Bay. And I'd like to urge that the promises made at the West End Summit be implemented without any further delays. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we approach the festival, and in this time, the call for the establishment of a beachfront SAPS tourism unit that links with the tourism sector has become urgent. There's also been a request for a 24-hour WhatsApp line linked to the NMBM 10111 call center. This will enable residents to send info, report crime, locations. The promises made for a Missionvale satellite police station 3 years ago should be kept. And added to this, the reopening of the Rocklands police station, where residents are located more than 20 kilometers to the nearest police station, is needed.
2 minutes left, Honorable Member.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, there was also a petition for the Seaview police station, which currently is only open 3 days a week during the day, to be converted into a 24-hour police station. And I would like the MEC to follow up on the status of this petition. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Democratic Alliance has long called for the deployment of the National Intervention Unit, and we welcome it. However, part of the findings in the report is an investigation into the conduct of the NIU, as was reported in my constituency in Malabar in the northern areas, where Islamophobic behavior and behavior that far went above the authority of SAPS members threaten to tarnish the image and the relationship between SAPS and our communities. And I'd like to say in this respect, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that trust between our law enforcement and our communities must be protected and we must find ways to ensure that when incidences like this take place, that justice is seen to be done across the board. I'd like to thank our chairperson and the committee for the excellent report, and we support the report before the House today. Together, we should all follow the MEC slogan of not being silent when something wrong is taking place. We should demand better for NMB because our people deserve better. And I agree with the Honorable Judge Ubana that when there are failures taking place in the current coalition year, in both DA and ANC wards, people are blaming our ward councillors. But I also am not sure, Honorable Judge Ubana, if you have been informed through you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that the ANC is also part of the coalition here in Nelson Mandela Bay. And therefore, we have extended a hand to say, let's work together to turn around the dysfunction that have set in. Let's create safer communities across our city for all of our wards and for all of our communities. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call upon Honorable Chocho, who will be followed by Honorable Arams. Honorable Chocho, you have 5 minutes, and it starts now. Thank you.
Enkosi Deputy Speaker, ndithi ntsibane ngazayo. Deputy Speaker, I almost got tempted to respond to Honorable Mjajubana, but I have decided not to degenerate to the level of noisemakers. Deputy Speaker, we meet here today to confront a grim reality. The Eastern Cape is the murder capital of South Africa. We are notorious for violent and sexual crime and haunted of extortion gangs. Crime has spiraled out of control, and yet amapolisa axhome izandla anikezela umsebenzi wabo emajonini nakwi-NIU. While we support calls for the deployment of soldiers and praise the highly commendable work of the NIU, the truth is that the police in this province are not serious about fighting crime.
MEC, the provincial commissioner, and every relevant official must start being held personally accountable for their dismal failure. They have failed to do their. Maybe it's time we find people who actually want to protect our people. The oversight finding from OR Tambo and Nelson Mandela Bay ngamanyundululu ahlamlisa umzimba. We are told that in a province at a war, there are 436 vacancies in the police force. How can we even begin to fight crime when our states are severely understaffed? Kanti ezizithuba zilinde ukuvalwa ngabantwana bobani? How can we hope for justice when only 185 out of 269 police vehicles are operational in OR Tambo, while the rest sit idly in government garages? And this is a trend across all stations visited. Even more outrageous is the list of serious crime in the community of Zolof is faced with, only to be told the station vehicle allocated is 4, one of which has been in a garage for over a month. How are our officers supposed to save the vast mountainous, dangerous territories when they don't even have the resources to get there in time? Nibe nina ninyuka nisehla ngemoto ezinkulu nixhakwe ngamadoda aphethe imipu. Nikhusela bani kanti? Nina okanye abantu enithi nibakhokhele? Anithethi ke nge-CPF, abantu bakuthi bagadiswa izigebenga bephethe imvubu namagqudu, kodwa kukho i-6.7 million eyanikezelwa iphondo kunanamhlanje yinam nawe. Abantu bakuthi abafumani nemali le yesephu, kanti inhloni ziphi?
Unemizuzu mibini, honorable member, shiyekile, Nkosi.
In Nelson Mandela Bay, where gangsterism reigns and crime outside the prison walls is orchestrated by criminal inside, we have to ask, where is the leadership? Where is the accountability? Kanifuneka kufe umntana kabani ukuze niphakame? We are in a crisis. Lixesha lokuba sinixolele ezindlebeni. Aba bantu bazibiza ngeenkokheli bayinxalenye yolwaphulo mthetho. Ukuba akunjalo mabazibonakalise. Kanti nithuleleni iphondo lethu lwaphenduka isiwoko kodwa nithi nikhokhele. How many more people must die? How many more women must be raped in Lusigisigi before we act? It's time to hold the top brass accountable. If they can't lead, then let us replace them with people who will. Mr. Nelson Mandela once said, and I quote, "If the ANC government does to you what the apartheid government did to you, then you must do to the ANC what you did to the apartheid government." Closed quote. I thank you.
I now call upon Honorable Aramse. Honorable Aramse, you have 3 minutes and it starts now. Thank you.
Good afternoon to the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Acting Premier, all honorable members and esteemed guests. All protocols observed. According to recent crime stats released last month, the Eastern Cape is one of 4 provinces where there is a scourge of crime. This very city, Gqeberha, has recently been ranked amongst the top 20 most dangerous cities in the world. As someone born and bred in the northern areas of Gqeberha, I know what it means to live in the midst of gangsterism. Crime in the northern areas has been reported about extensively for several years now, but not just in the northerns. All of us sitting here have been affected by crime in some way or another. As a province, it is important to acknowledge that that there are police, men and women, in our province who put on their uniform daily to protect us, and it is a task that is becoming more and more difficult to perform. The need to ramp up in local law enforcement has become more necessary. This includes utilizing the Metro Police more effectively and incentivizing policing forums and the Neighborhood Watch initiatives. Our police officers across the province are unable to service our communities diligently as they are understaffed due to vacant positions not being filled, and many a times there is not a vehicle to go out to a scene that warrants intervention from law enforcement. More fleet is needed. Vacant positions need to be filled. Bringing back specialized units such as the narcotics unit to combat drugs is imperative. The anti-gang unit is also understaffed. The second highest crimes in our community are non-contact crimes such as theft and house break-ins. We need to regularize Neighborhood Watch, giving them more power to combat crime. The policy regarding CPF should be revised in order to give them more scope and better equip them to assist police as they currently have limited authority. In conclusion, mense in die algemeen en die kwesbares in besonder in ons provinsie verdien om veilig te voel en veilig te wees. Mothers and fathers who wake up before the sun rises deserve to leave their homes without fear or trepidation. Children deserve to walk to and from school without anxiety. Our children should be able to play outside. Anti-apartheid stalwart Oliver Tambo once said, "The fight for freedom must go on until it is won, until our country is free and peaceful. As part of the community of man, we cannot rest." As the Patriotic Alliance, we appreciate the report, accept it, and we trust that these words will not just remain on paper but transpire to the ground. Salute.
Honorable Member, I now call upon Honorable Ngobo, the MKP. Honorable Ngobo, you have 3 minutes and it starts now. Thank you.
Molweni, molweni. Ndiyabulisa ke. Honorable Chair, this report, Honorable Chair, states that only few departmental recommendations are implemented. Implementing of the recommendations is the key, because it's where we are going to test whether the work has been done. Crime is blocking development. It is not acceptable for the service delivery to be blocked by crime while police are present. We have police here in this country, and they are working hard to find these criminals. More important, more resources are needed, are urgently needed, to make sure that police are doing their job well. And the CPF that is not even formed in Mandela, we've heard that in that report, it's a problem. It is a problem that that forum, it is not formed, because the criminals, they live with us in the townships. People know these people where they are. So they are not in heaven, but they are here on earth, these people. The people who are killing innocent children, who are killing innocent women, who are killing homeless and defenseless people. That is not acceptable at all. The continuance of crime in our cities, including this maestro, is not acceptable. How long are we going to bury innocent people? It is enough now. Women deserve to live life because God has given them good life to live. No one has a right to die, to kill innocent women and children. So police, especially the police women, we have to stand up more and more and defend the women and children. This is the time, and the time is now. We don't want continuous crime in our areas while we are still live. MK do not want crime. Is ready. MKP is ready to confront crime. We are ready to confront crime. If police are not doing their job, people on the ground will do their job. Let me repeat it again. If police are not doing their job, people on the ground will continue to find these criminals. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call upon the ANC, Honorable Prestorius. You have 14 minutes and it starts now. Over to you.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Acting Premier, members of the Executive Council, honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, distinguished guests and fellow citizens. I greet you all in the name of peace as we discuss the crucial matter of community safety. Let me start by also giving some recognition to the legislature support staff, in particular the coordinators and researchers who help craft reports such as these. For one, the ANC caucus researcher, Mrs. Nolatandu Tikelili, says on the report that like our struggle for freedom, ensuring safety in our communities requires hard work, dedication, and above all, collaboration. Collaboration being the key word, Honorable Deputy Speaker. We all need to work together to come up with solutions Honourable Speaker, can you protect me, please?
Continue.
We all need to work together to come up with solutions. Now is not the time in this Rubicon moment we face as a nation to try shift the blame or to make comparisons of who is better than the other. Let us focus on a conclusive transformation agenda for our province as a whole in our oversight file. Speaker, we draw positives from the report that 12 out of the 17 contact crimes have decreased in the last financial year in the Nelson Mandela Bay district. And through the out of 200 identified cases, 89 were successfully re-enrolled and finalized. The committee report reflects our commitment as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa to ensure effective, accountable and responsive policing service as guided by Section 205 of the Constitution that outlines the role of the South African Police Service to protect and serve. To this end, the ruling party underscores coordinated efforts from the government, local authorities and community leaders to ensure a secure and peaceful future of all communities. In slotting in with the slogan that MEC Ngata loves, Musa Ukutula Kusonakala, we as the ANC strongly believe in the principle of community collaboration in curbing wrongdoings, and we urge municipalities across the province to prioritize the formation and strengthening of community safety forums, as these forums prove to be vital in fostering collaboration between communities, law enforcement agencies, and other stakeholders to ultimately contribute to a safer society. However, Sekela Somlomo, we recognize the ongoing challenges in this area, particularly the lack of stipends, equipment and operational resources for community policing forum members, which at times causes the functionality of the CPF to take strain. We urge the SAPS and the Department of Community Safety to work together in improving relations between police stations and CPF members and fully endorse the recommendations in the report around strengthening the functionings of the CPFs. The work CPF members are doing is important to assist in our collaboration in fighting crime, and we need to ensure these members remain motivated, capacitated, and sustained in their responsibility as safety activists. Honourable Deputy Speaker, when it comes to areas of concern in the report, we note the rise in gangsterism, substance abuse, extortion fees, and organised crime targeted at our public schools and businesses in hotspots areas in the province. We also note the high rates of murder and gender-based violence in most areas of Nelson Mandela Bay region, as well as the recruiting of youth, in particular school dropouts, in the orchestration of crimes. These areas of concern deserve more solution-driven attention from law enforcement agencies and a multifaceted approach, collaborative approach across the relevant departments. We thus cannot, under these circumstances, sit with human resources shortage and therefore urge that all the vacant posts outlined in the report be filled as a matter of urgency. The report also highlights numerous issues relating to the state of police stations in the district, the dilapidated infrastructure, the shortage of vehicles, the lack of proper holding cells and victim-friendly rooms are unacceptable. The ANC-led government endorses the recommendations on fixing infrastructure and for more funds to be allocated to areas of constraint. We will continue to monitor and work closely with the relevant departments to deal with these concerns. This concerted effort will continue to ensure that stations like Bettelsdorp, KwaZulu-Natal and Kamesh receive the urgent upgrades needed for them to operate effectively and provide a safe working environment for our officers. We cannot find it normal, Deputy Speaker, to hear of police on duty being robbed or killed due to basic infrastructure not being addressed around police stations. All police stations must be protected and respected places where citizens are served properly and where everyone feels most safe. But also, Deputy Speaker, we cannot find it normal to hear of police stations being broken into or vandalized and the police found wanting to secure these premises and to uphold the decorum of these establishments, as this does not send out a very encouraging message on the effectiveness of the police in a particular area. We therefore urge the station commanders to improve on this aspect when needs be. Honourable Deputy Speaker, as we received reports and embarked on oversight visits to different police stations in Nelson Mandela Metro, it became clear that our communities face many challenges that hinder the peace and safety we aspire to achieve, and therefore more has to be done towards development and focusing investment to areas of need in order to build resilient neighbourhoods, equipping people with the knowledge and tools to actively participate in ensuring their safety. By modernising and expanding our community safety infrastructure through better street lighting, efficient surveillance technologies, quick response emergency, number plate recognition cameras, more drone technology, and addressing the concerns of unnumbered houses and streets without names, we can strengthen the immediate security framework in neighbourhoods and unlock new opportunities for innovation and collaboration. Mr. Deputy Speaker, we must also give credit to the Community Safety Portfolio Chairperson, Honourable Tumeka Gaya, and the Committee Whip, Honourable Patricia Mankasla, for the manner in which they led the committee during our oversight visits towards this Taking Legislature to the People programme, leaving no stone unturned in our endeavours to ensure accountable and efficient policing, while also creating a conducive environment for constructive discussions and better collaboration between all stakeholders towards efficient community safety. In fact, Deputy Speaker, as we were busy collaborating as MPLs across political parties to conclude all reports across committees for this programme, it is noteworthy how well we can in the committee rooms. But unfortunately, Deputy Speaker, as soon as we get to the House, the same reports are misconstrued by some members on the left, and we get reminded about the supposed well-run Western Cape. Deputy Speaker, this can't be right, and we have to be open with our communities and not allow them to be misled by partisan theatrics and politicking. Consequently, Deputy Speaker, it leads me to reflect on something interesting that Honourable Retief Odendaal, the former DA Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, said in a cocktail portfolio meeting on 25 July earlier this year. He said, and I quote, "I'd be the first to state this publicly, and my party often doesn't get it, but you cannot actually compare the Western Cape to the Eastern Cape due to the Western Cape not having two former homelands, a housing backlog, and the same transformational issues that Eastern Cape has." Close quote. Deputy Speaker, I don't know if this was GNU euphoria.
Honourable Deputy Speaker.
On what you're raising on?
Rule 80, subsection 2.
Honourable Member.
Because I didn't say Western Cape once, so did he write the speech before he listened to my speech?
No. Wait, Honourable
yesterday.
Kassim. Wait. Honourable Member.
Yesterday.
Honourable Member,
Honourable Speaker.
you want to continue?
Take a question?
No,
Seemingly,
I
seemingly is not willing to take a question.
I think my secretary is around you. You could just
Yeah,
forward the question
you can
by
sit-
email. Thank
You
you.
can take a seat.
But one, Deputy Speaker, I don't know if this was GNU euphoria by Honourable Retief Odendaal or what, but one can applaud this type of forward thinking by the Honourable and wish this mindset can reach others around him. Interestingly, as Honourable Odendaal's party is seated here, I'm not sure if they are inclusive of anyone from the areas of the former homelands that he mentioned. And it starts to make sense why they battled to let go of Cape Town and fully represent the integration and socio-economic needs of the majority of the people of this largely rural province, Mpuma Kapa. But nonetheless, the struggle continues irrespective of representation. Deputy Speaker, in the spirit of collaboration, we need to also educate our communities more on standing up against wrongdoing. From knowing their rights to making whistleblowing fashionable must be at the center of our outreach plans. Citizens must be encouraged to make use of the newly launched extortion hotline to report any suspicious activities or crimes, as this type of responsible community collaboration assists greatly to curb crime. As a caring movement, we will always urge community members to not be hesitant to do what is right, and it starts with the basic thing of being law-abiding citizens that encourages others to also be law-abiding. Musa ukutula kusonakala. Kom ons doen die regte ding en werk saam, mense. But as lawmakers, we also have to debate the legal frameworks we are guided by. The issue of replica firearms being used in the commission of crimes across the province is a serious concern. As the ANC, we call upon the national government to consider the introduction of legislation to regulate the sale of these replicas. We must also look into the South African Police Service Act and the Civilian Secretariat for Police Service Act in terms of how best these legislative frameworks can be improved to assist both the department and the men and women in blue to execute their functions better and to implement recommendations faster. As I conclude, Deputy Speaker, allow me to herald our Tambo month by reflecting one of my favorite quotes of Oliver Tambo, where he said he had other plans for his life. He wanted to be a church minister, but God had other plans for him to fight in the liberation of our people. Deputy Speaker, I too had other plans for my life, but God's plans was for me to be here today, to be part of the solution, and I thank the Liberation Movement for this opportunity towards creating a national democratic society. The ANC remains committed to ensuring that the Community Safety Portfolio oversees SAPS to uphold its constitutional mandate to protect our communities. This report provides a roadmap for improvement, and we will not rest until these recommendations are implemented. The safety of our people is non-negotiable. Let us collaborate and not keep quiet when wrong things are done. The ANC supports the report. Tamahaku. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Prestorius. I now call upon the MEC, Honourable Ngata. You have 10 minutes, Mkaban, and it starts now.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to you and wish to stand on the protocol of this morning and this afternoon, just to preserve my 10 minutes. Perhaps let me reading this quotation, whose author is unknown. I quote, "Leaders instill in their people a hope for success, a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader," close quote. I guess as I stand here, if this is the test of leadership, many from my life side have failed this test. And Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, you can, abantu bamaba, bacho izijwili. Kamba ikona nenyito yakwaziwa ngabanye befundisa hapa izililo zoJeremia. Hapa ndivizililo zikaKasim noChocho. Bacho hapa izijwili. Endani bana baniki confidence. You can conclude that Honorable Kasim doesn't even hear what he says. I've said repetitively here that if you have added 1,000 more police, it's an addition, it's not a minus. The 300 police that have been added here in the metro, she continues to say it's a minus. That does not deny that the police, we still short, of the numbers. But it's an addition, but he does not listen. He then says, once we have signed a cooperation agreement, before we implement it as fails. The same person says, brings neighborhood watch. This is what we're doing. We work with private security, neighborhood watch, the provincial police, and everybody else to do this thing. That to him has failed already. And Chocho, we reply here to say, the 6 million has done 1, 2, 3 for the CPFs. She stands here to say nobody is able to answer this thing. We answered this morning, and she then says, she fails to understand that NIU is subs. NIU is subs. There are people that they can't hear what they say. You must just give up on them. There are people we must just school them. Just be patient with them like Chocho. Honorable Chair, the department strives to ensure that there is quality of services and the work that are done by members of SARS, such that we are able to distinguish between arrest and conviction. And we are able to appreciate that the victims of crime and those who are doing their work, the men and women in blue, and patriots, they appreciate arrest, that somebody has been apprehended. We equally appreciate, if you can look at the recent stats of the last 2 quarters, out of 15 or 20 cases, SAPS has managed to ensure a conviction of not less than 240 years of life sentences. That shows to the quality of work of our detectives to ensure that the evidence is able to ensure conviction. That is why we must not politicize this work such that we don't put undue pressure to SAPS such that they make mistakes. And therefore, for us, arrest is a major success. And those who say we must disregard it, they just playing politics, which we are not prepared to do and gamble with the lives of those who suffer under these levels of crime. Honorable members, the Department of Community Safety, in collaboration with the Minister of Police, recently launched the cooperation agreement with Nelson Mandela Metro to strengthen cooperation between all law enforcement agencies in pursuit of a shared vision for safety and security. which I spoke about this morning. Through this agreement, an integrated approach which includes SARS, Metro, Police, Provincial Traffic, private security, is working together to ensure that we strengthen our collaboration to fight against crime. This agreement will be rolled out to all municipalities to ensure that there is no duplication. We work in a coordinated way. And OR Tambo and other municipalities. Through this integrated approach, the police will have a viewing rights on the CCTV network. And we also ensure that we profile already. Because generally, the communities know who are the criminals. They know who are known bosses of extortion. They know who are known bosses, for cash heists. What SAPS is busy doing now is to profile those individuals, use technology to literally follow them. That's why the focus now is not only the arrest, which we are succeeding to do, is to ensure that we prevent even the incidents of crime to occur. That's the focus of this work, such that we do this tighter monitoring on those who are committing crime. And this work is quite commendable, because as a province, because this issue of crime, it mutates like a disease. It migrates. You focus on extortion. It moves to cash heists. You go there. You deal with it. It's quiet now. You can say, many of you here, it moves now to mass murderers. That's how it mutates. We're going to be able then to sort of close the net. That's what we're doing against criminality. And that's the work we must commend when we are a leadership that inspired confidence. Not crybabies of leaders, but leaders that demonstrate confidence and inspire people hope into the future, not those who come here and cry. Honorable Chair, the Department of Community Safety has coordinated and implemented the Provincial Safety Strategy and its 6 pillars through collaboration in the Justice Cluster. We are making progress in this work. We have done operations, we have done raids here just in the past few weeks here at St. Albans, managed to secure many of the illegal activities there, including cell phones. We have done raids in the prison in Mthatha and many other prisons. That's the work that is done under SAPS, which will include then the whole issue I was talking about of ensuring that those who are in prison are just unable to use their cell phone gadgets. And the criminal elements among the correctional officers are equally being dealt with. And there are examples that have been shown by the Minister of Correctional Services and the Provincial Commissioner of Police, of Correctional Services, Regional Commissioner Mthethwa. We have equally facilitated the establishment of municipal community safety forums in all six districts and the metros, with the Nelson Mandela being outstanding. And already there's been 2 meetings to prepare towards a community safety forum. Those meetings were chaired by the Deputy Mayor, Mamulobishe. We are gearing towards that because we must strengthen this
2
issue
minutes left, Honorable Member.
of collaboration. 1 or 2? Or 2. So effective response to crime and safer communities require collaboration. We wish to underline that point and ensure that we work together across the political divide. That is quite very important. Honorable members, allow me to express my sincere appreciation to the work of this committee and stakeholders subsequent to the visit of the committee to here in Nelson Mandela. And we're going to comply with the 30 days timeline to ensure that we submit, Honorable Chair, Honorable Gaia. And we have taken note of the areas raised, including the whole issue of the CPF chairperson, because it's quite important. That's why we screen people in patrollers, screen people in the CPF, because we don't want criminal elements to infiltrate these structures, because we must safeguard its own integrity and therefore the prestige of the law enforcement officers as we go do our daily work. Lastly, as we welcome this report of the Portfolio Committee, allow me to express our word of gratitude to the members of this committee for visiting our police stations, and not our charge office, our police station in the metro, and the Department of Community Safety has noted, as I said, the findings. And thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And we're looking forward to working with each and every one, honorable members, in support of the work of our lawyers. They are patrons, they are doing a lot of sacrifice. All what they need is our support, will defeat crime.
Thank you very much, MEC. Honorable members, I put the report of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety. Any objections? Okay, thank you very much. We now come to the debate of the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs by honorable members. I call upon the DA, Honorable Ottendal. Honorable Ottendal, you have 6 minutes, and your 6 minutes starts now. Thank you.
Deputy Speaker, many will say Nelson Mandela Bay is the economic hub of the Eastern Cape. This metro is responsible for some 45% of the gross domestic product in the province. It should be a beacon of hope and a place of opportunity for the entire Eastern Cape, but you will find no better life here. In Nelson Mandela Bay, you will find a city that is in ruin, dirty, dysfunctional, corrupt, and generally in a state of paralysis. The one shining star that proudly bears the father of our nation's name is now a shadow of its former self. Since 2009, there has been no less than 44 municipal managers and 11 mayors. The political and administrative instability creates a fertile environment for corruption to prosper, which can be no better illustrated than the fact that there is 22 billion rand in irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure on the financial statements of the Metro. In the last financial year, which ended in June this year, the Metro forfeited 450 million rand to National Treasury because of an inability to spend that money. Right now, they await advices from National Treasury that they can forfeit another 200 million rand. This is a Metro with one of the highest urban unemployment figures in the country, but yet they are throwing away money. This is a Metro with an estimated 90,000 unit housing backlog, but yet they can throw away money. This is a Metro where 6,000 households still make use of the bucket system, but yet the ANC government here can throw away money. This is a Metro where hundreds of people in Kariga and in Utenek suffered severe damages as a result of the floods in June 2024. But rather than spend a cent on those poor people, they will throw away money. This is a Metro where the mayor flies first class and drinks French champagne that costs more per bottle than an old age pension grant pays. If the foreign travel of the mayor last year cost the city 1 million rand, that 1 million rand could have built 5 RDP top structures. That 1 million rand could have employed a breadwinner in 200 families for a month at 5,000 rand per person. Last year, it became public knowledge that the mayor has been implicated in alleged fraud. It's been more than a year and the mayor still hasn't answered these allegations. How can this be? I hear you ask, how can it be that the ANC does nothing? Like Pontius Pilate, they wash their hands of him, but they forget that this is an ANC coalition. No matter how long you wash your hands, you will never be rid of Gary van die Kerk. In fact, the ANC in this Metro is like Judas Iscariot that sold Jesus for 50 pieces of silver. They have sold the people of this Metro for 50 pieces of silver for access to power and patronage. But take the people of KwaNobuhle. Every day happens that they have water shedding. Every day they have load reduction. No other section in the metro has got load reduction. But Judas does nothing. And then there are the long-suffering people of Bayland. These are some of the people living in poorest living conditions imaginable in this metro, but they have to beg for services, basic services, from people like the current coalition here.
You have 2 minutes, Honorable Member.
Where is that better life that the party of Judas promised the people of the Bay? Is it perhaps a better afterlife for all? If you go to Mission Vale, people continue to live in areas covered in sewer, as sewer pump stations are becoming more and more dysfunctional due to a lack of maintenance. In Markman, the road infrastructure is collapsing to such an extent that businesses want to disinvest from that community. This is the Eastern Cape that the ANC brought us. This is the metro under ANC control, but they want to wash their hands. In that report, you will read this metro losing 45% of all the water that comes into the city. The electricity department makes nearly R1 billion loss every year. But worse still, the metro received the first unqualified audit in 12 years under a DA coalition government. And then the ANC go and collude with criminals to undermine that work so that they can hand the city back to the looters. This is a story of Nelson Mandela Bay, a story of how a metro can be brought to its knees by political parties that only care about themselves and not the people of this great metro. In 2026, the people of Nelson Mandela Bay will remember who sold them out and vote for the DA so that they can take Nelson Mandela Bay forward again. The DA supports the report before us because it really is a true reflection of the disgrace that this metro finds itself in under an ANC government. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call upon Honorable Dr. Knudse. You have 3 minutes. Starts now.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. When we speak about Nelson Mandela Bay, it is personal, very personal. Because for us that was raised in the streets of Nelson Mandela Bay, it flows through our veins. It's in the air that we breathe, it's in our heartbeat, and that is our love for this city. And nobody loves this city more than former Mayor Retief Odendaal. Because it is through blood and sweat and tears that he showed that it is possible not only to turn a city around, but to breathe new life and hope into the people of Nelson Mandela Bay. Unfortunately, the current coalition of dysfunction would have none of it. But the DA has never forsaken the people of Nelson Mandela Bay. In fact, we made an offer to the ANC as the two biggest parties in Nelson Mandela Bay, each with 48 seats, as the only two parties with ward councillor in this metro, and said to them, let's govern this city together. Unbeatable offer, right? So I hear you ask, why don't we have a new government today? Because apparently the offer of stability, of economic growth and creating jobs, of improved service delivery, and of good clean governance was not a good enough offer. They decided to side with the breakers and not the builders. You see, the truth is this, that to put the people of Nelson Mandela Bay first and to save that city, it can only be done by people that truly love Nelson Mandela Bay and are willing to do whatever it takes to save our city. But the bottom line is this, and the truth remains this through all of the noise, and that is that the people of Nelson Mandela Bay deserve better.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call upon Honorable Emma Tigizela. We have 5 minutes, and it starts now.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I was tempted to entertain you Honorable Avel, but I reminded myself that we, at your age, I had the right to make mistakes. So you also have that right to make the mistake. So you are allowed. Deputy Speaker, our task as the EFF is to robustly engage government on ideas that would sharpen thinking and better the lives of our people, and we shall never be apologetic about that. It is indeed inspiring how some of the executive members have positively taken our critique and improved in some aspects. However, there are those who suffer from exaggerated self-importance. Those who believe they must not be accountable. No, they must be accountable. But let us assure the people of Mandela Metropolitan and the Eastern Cape, we are more than ready to serve your interest. Before engaging Cocktail report, let me utilize this allocated time to matriculants who have started writing their exams the best of luck. As we said, Speaker, we intentionally must critique this government in the interest of the people. Our people expect more from the government, and their only hope is us gathered here. Therefore, we must robustly engage on best innovations that would make public service as effective as possible. Before I play my role of an opposition, let me salute the GLU of Nelson Mandela, not GNU, GLU. Actually, GLU is incorrect. It should be referred as a revolutionary people's government. Out of many achievements by the revolutionary people's government of Nelson Mandela, some are the following. The construction of a poison station in Ward 36. The project was formally launched last year in the previous financial year to accommodate the new human settlement development in Ward 36 and surrounding areas and surrounding wards. It has been completed. On expenditure, electricity and the Energy Directorate has spent at least 95% of its budget. So my Deputy Executive Mayor Bukhona. This city has been in a dark for many years. However, in the previous financial year, it has launched solar street light project. The government brought by the much needed brightness in Stanford Road and other areas. In 2010, Uhulumende wase Nelson Mandela resolved to eradicate 23,479 bucket systems. But so far, since Kukhona, the people's government,
2 minutes left.
16,000 bucket system has been eradicated. That cannot be mentioned by ordinary. So this is a progressive milestone under the leadership and oversight of EFF. The successful refurbishment of the Carl Jones water treatment works completed it at the cost of 7.8 million. There are many things, Deputy Speaker, that we can mention that are a success of the coalition government between the parties that are currently leading in Nelson Mandela. But the service delivery is directed on township, which makes some people uncomfortable that the service delivery is now directed to the townships. They want the service delivery to remain in the elite areas, as they do in the Western Cape, that they constantly boast about. The same people have had an irregular expenditure of 20 billion at their regime, and that irregular expenditure has never been accounted for. The only thing they can do is to come here and shout. So we call on this government to continue putting the effort to ensure that the service delivery goes to our people. Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Matigizela. I now call upon Honorable Mnocho. You have 3 minutes, Honorable Mnocho, and it starts now.
Deputy Speaker, Honorable Acting Premier, Honorable Chief Whip, and all protocol observed. As UTM, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we accept the report. We further commend the work that has been done by the Kabeja men in honoring Isiko Le Chilolaluko and the efforts that the government is doing in terms of safeguarding the lives. Again, we support that we must provide a support to the municipality on overhauling the 140 million in order to enable the spending. It is also my submission that projects should be monitored in line with their specifications, which is also involving the timeframes in order to meet deadlines on implementation stages. The municipality must use the funds efficiently and effectively by being able to pay the creditors within the specified time. Again, structures responsible for making oversight must be able to do their work in ensuring irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure are investigated with consequences. Contracts between the municipalities and the service providers should be properly managed to ensure compliance in terms of the agreement. Municipalities are a sphere of government that is close to the people. Therefore, it is high time that our systems must improve on the implementation and on how we execute their functions so as for us to excel in service delivery. The problem of water shortages needs to be attended by the municipality by planning for building of new dams and further addressing the problem of leakages. The municipality must address the problem of bucket system in order to provide a healthy and a safe environment in those communities that are still in use of the system. Again, the timing in relation to the implementation of project, we have observed that it is not respected by the municipality, and we request that they must adhere to that. Health and safety environment of the people is not respected, and we request the municipality to look at it. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Secretary.
Deputy Speaker, thank you. I now call upon the Honorable Buya. Honorable, you have 3 minutes and it starts now.
Deputy Speaker, let me acknowledge the report that is tabled in front of us. I would like to make it a point that this government of corporate government, it's one of the important governance within the municipalities, because it's the one that all the departments are reporting to. There is one thing, Deputy Speaker, that I noticed from the members of the communities that were here. They mentioned that the M-score is not used effectively. So if that is picked up by the member of the community at the ground level, that means that we as this level, we need to take note of that and make sure that we'll be acting onto that, Deputy Speaker. Also, Deputy Speaker, the other speaker also made mention that they understand that this government is under a debt. And now, therefore, it will not assist us in the now it's not time for us to point fingers to each other. Time is for us to rectify the mistakes that are there. Indoba singenza njani ukuze lo hulumende aphume kula matyala kuwo. Xa loo nto ikwazi ukubonwa ngabantu abasegroundini, then thina ke ngokule level senza ntoni ngaloo nto for ukuncedisana nohulumende ukuze aphume ematyaleni. Deputy Speaker, I would like to bring to the attention of the MEC. The Patriotic Alliance would like to bring to the attention of the MEC the court between Nelson Mandela Bay and MPDA. It's a huge and a serious crisis, because it was made mention that the investment of the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, it's also in that crisis of that, because it is managed by MPDA, although the MPDA is fighting with the municipality. It is not correct for Deputy Speaker that the two entities are fighting, although they're supposed to address the service delivery issues on the ground. Deputy Speaker, Now it's the time for this term of this government to make sure we unite and build a team that will respond to the needs and what the people were promised on the ground. I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable May,
Thank you.
you have 3
Chairperson.
minutes.
In 2011, we had economic growth, jobless going down. We can't compare the Nelson Mandela Metro in those days with today. No quality roads, no street lights or traffic lights, infrastructure not maintained, no street name signs, reverse this trend. Decline is real in every part of a Nelson Mandela Metro. If we can't fix the basics, people won't invest in the Nelson Mandela Metro. Look at the dilapidated state-owned properties, not only in the CBD, but also in the rest of the metro. Daar word van ons verwag om padwaardige voertuie te bestuur. Ons baie padwaardig. Safety is very important. If you travel from Dispatch, Swartkops to the N2, you'll see during night times there's no street lights, no traffic lights. Everything stolen. Where's the police? Where's the municipal police? 64% of the people in Johannesburg believe that they will be out of water in the near future. What is the position in the Nelson Mandela Metro? We have experienced a drought in 2022. At this stage, our dams are full. But what will happen in the future? 69% of the people of the rural areas are moving to the metros. So ons gaan meer water gebruik, al hoe meer en meer. Maar ons het net 'n sekere hoeveelheid damme en ons kan nie meer damme hier bou nie. En indien ons wil bou, sal dit ons 10 na 15 jaar neem. But the Freedom Front Plus is positive about our water situation. And the only reason is that we receive water from the Garib Dam. But we must upgrade the Nooitgedag water scheme as needed. Phase 3 was completed in, I think, March 24. We must start immediately with stage 4 as soon as possible. But remember one thing, I've listened this morning about the clinics. No water. Why? No water tanks. I've said it many times. Buy for yourself a water tank. Waarom is ek so trots op die water van die Gariepdam? Die Afrikaner was versiende gewees in daai jare. Hy het geweet die Oos-Kaap het nie genoeg water nie. Hulle het 'n dam gebou om ons te red in 2022 wat ons so gesterf het van dorsiese. Daar was nie water meer in ons damme nie. Ek wil iets sê oor wijkraadslede. Wijkraadslede was in die verlede die trots van die gemeenskap. Hulle het 'n belangrike rol gespeel en was 'n skakel tussen die gemeenskap en die munisipaliteit. Die verhouding is besig om te vervaag. Waarom? Omdat die munisipaliteit disfunksioneel geword het en nie meer behoorlike dienste kan lewer nie. Ek ontvang 'n oproep van 'n vrou verlede donderdag van Algoa Park. Haar sewage drain is verstop. Sy het dit Junie maand, het sy dit rapporteer. Ja, sy woon in Algoa Park, is op my selfoon. Kom ek sê vir u, wat is die antwoord? Wat sy kry?
Thank you. Thank you, honorable member.
Wat sy kry, hulle het nie geld om sy filang
Thank
genees
you.
aan te stel nie. Kan julle dit glo?
Dankie.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Dankie. Honorable Honorable Matuan, ANC, you have 14 minutes and it starts now. Thank you.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Acting Premier and all presiding officers. You see, on a lighter note, with these 3 minutes, I remembered Usis Ndutu, Honorable Makubela. Some people would not even finish that 3 minutes if she was here. Honorable Chief Whip and all honorable members present, allow me, Deputy Speaker, to greet all of you in this August House. This being the An-Or Tambo month, I wish to state this very profound quotation reflecting some of his views. I quote, "To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. This quote highlights, close quote, this quote highlights the interconnectedness of freedom, governance, and the responsibilities of individuals within their communities. Tambo believed that the true liberation included active participation in local governance. Let me then pause before I go on with my prepared speech to correct some of the distortions. You see, when you come to the podium and try to be eloquent by shouting at us so that we can listen to you without saying anything. One of the things we did, honorable members, in this report, we've gone deeper. We have gone deeper, a thoroughgoing analysis of the situation. And instead, honorable members on the other side have not engaged the report. Let me first say, Honorable Ordinal, this, in the study of neuroscience that deals with cognition, there's something called construction of social ignorance, which is based on bias. Essentially, what was being done here is based on your bias, because there is no one now who's counting to the DA about coalition. Now you must come and trash and throw everything at the ruling party. Secondly, Honorable King, which shows some inconsistencies, honorable members. Honorable King came here to speak about human settlement. She quoted some statistics about the backlog in the metro. She said, in the metro, they've got a backlog of 78,990. Honorable Ordinal comes, debate this report. She speaks about the backlog of more than 95,000. Now, the question is, where do you verify your statistics? Where do we verify the statistics? The last issue, Honorable Ordinal, so please go back. We'll tell you in the committee, Honorable King, the real statistics with the MEC and the team. The third issue, when Honorable Ordinal was the mayor here, he presided over an irregular settlement of an executive director. The question we're dealing with the tourism, with the agency here, a director is settled wrongly, given huge sums of money. No, wait. Number two, Honorable Ordinal allowed somebody who is facing criminal charges in court, and he left that person in the office as a city manager during his time. Now you come here and posture some level of morality. We will tell you, tell no lies. Number three, I think the last one before I leave you. We gave the DA an option of Section 12. They refuse. Now they come and shout some morality about how wrong we are, when we came to you and said the best option for stabilizing this municipality, for the interest of the people, as Honorable Nutsa puts it, for the interest of the people, let's take Section 12 notice. It's going to take us somewhere, and you took us to court. Don't tell lies. We're here. Honorable Deputy Speaker, local government is a sphere that is where real practical services are delivered. Can you protect me against this, gentleman? It's a sphere where real practical services are delivered, ranging from water and sanitation to electricity and infrastructure development. It is therefore in our interest as this legislature to ensure good governance at the local level. After all, honorable members, the seat of the legislature and the provincial executive is in a municipal space. This municipality faces multifaceted challenges that require strategic and political solutions. Here are some of the deeper analysis of and potential pathways forward for this municipality. First of all, honorable members, the Metro is a city with an endowment of economic opportunities, not only of the province, but for the entire Eastern Cape province as a whole. It is therefore important that the provincial government, through COGTA, accelerate the support that it gives to this metro, which some members do not even recognize the kind of support. I'm going to talk about it later on. The support required must also align with the institutional requirements of this municipality to make it become a shining example of a prosperous city in our province. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this municipality is a B2 credit rated municipality, which typically indicates a moderate credit risk. It suggests that the borrower, which could be an individual or a corporation, is more likely to face financial difficulties compared to those with higher ratings, but it is still considered to have adequate capacity to meet its financial commitments. This prospect, honorable members, should worry this council because the credit ratings constantly could consider a stable political environment that can improve a municipal credit rating as a whole. Out of the work we did as the Portfolio Committee, with all the members of the Portfolio Committee led by its chairperson, the following are some of the observations we have made as the ANC. First of all, we must protect the financial position of the metro. Secondly, and equally ensure that it improves consistently. If they've got cash equivalents of 4.2 billion, we must therefore be jealous to protect that situation. Thirdly, service delivery acceleration with particular focus on quality and reliability of electricity, waste collection, roads infrastructure, water and sanitation services. This is what we expected them to talk about, because this is what we are with them. Not everything they were talking about here. Honorable members, I want to single out the quality and reliability of electricity supply and waste collection, as this is a major risk to the metro and this potential opportunity to attract investment. This area requires urgent attention. Protection of, and fourth one, protection of existing infrastructure from theft and vandalism, which seems to be a growing and worrying phenomenon, not only in this metro, but to the entire province, which Honorable Ngata is dealing with them every day. A special focus is required in ensuring that the spending of the metro's capital conditional grants is accelerated. This must be linked to the robust performance management systems for the administration and as well for councillors. We are tired of councillors who cannot comprehend. I think Madam Speaker, at some point we'll have to be tired about members who come here and say nothing when money has been wasted for them to come to these meetings. Ixesha lokuba or MMC, we have no full comprehension of their role is over. Kwanele. And we are going to form a government that will be capable and to deliver here. The Metro established an entity called MBDA, as the chairperson has stated. As the ANC, we want to state this. This agency was meant for the development agenda of the Metro. Further, we understand that this agency should, among other things, be supportive to the Metro on the revitalization of some of its latent assets to improve and restore the areas of economy and social vibrancy, and to improve safety, security of the entire CBD, and enhance the urban aesthetics and infrastructure, and preserve historical and cultural heritage, so as to prioritize and optimize Mandela Bay tourism potential? These are the critical vexing questions that requires capable administration and governance on the part of council. Instead, the relations between and this parent municipality, as the chair has said, as indicated earlier on, is a cause for concern. And as the ANC want to call upon the government to come in to ensure that they mediate on areas of disagreement that can lead to the erosion of the good work that the agency should. Furthermore, the agency is facing significant challenges that threaten its effectiveness. Honorable members, we urge this council, let me say this one very softly.
2 minutes left before you say it. Thank you.
We urge this council to settle the protracted illegal disagreement between its CEO and the board. Members, there is an urgent need to deal with the issue of state-owned properties in the central business district, which are investment opportunities. We must encourage the competent authorities such as PRASA and Transnet to produce renovation plans. I think we are now at that to demand in accordance with the call that we're making. The governments must collaborate with the local council and to look at other potential legal alternatives, even at expropriating for social good other illegally occupied and derelict buildings in the CBD. The department must intervene in this regard. In all fairness, Honorable Odendal, this provincial government, through COCTA, must be commended for the Section 1554 support for secondly an acting municipal manager. And as ANC, we support your MEC and your team for doing that job. We further call to the MEC and the department to ensure that we support the current administration of the MM and give him administrative space to work and lead administration. He must work to lead, to change the fortunes of the metro and ensure that everything else is addressed within the timelines given to him. Regarding the conditional grants, this one is unacceptable. 140 million for RBIG, that cannot be used. The department must come and intervene immediately to ensure that expenditure is accelerated and we will recover from the current situation. Regarding the recent floods that we've seen here, we want to call the council to do the following. One, to prioritize budget to solve the stormwater drainage issues in light of ongoing current disaster brought by severe floods. Two, to develop a comprehensive public education and awareness campaign about community maintenance of storm water drainage across all wards. And COCTA must come up with solutions to deal with the issue of alien visitation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call upon the MEC for Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable Williams. You have 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Let me quickly deal with few issues. I think the member of the Portfolio Committee has addressed a number of issues I would have loved to address. My concern, Deputy Speaker, relates to how we in this august house become hypocritical on when the environment does not respond as we want it to respond. I have arranged meetings
during the right-wing coalition here to sit and discuss the Section 12 notice because our forefathers have taught us that you must transcend political divisions, political orientations for the sake of public. And my friend and colleague, Mr. Odenda, ignored me, literally. And I was inviting him as a colleague so that we can engage on this matter of Section 12. And today, my colleague is here. The problem I have is the quotation of the Bible. The use of the Bible has contributed to our dehumanization as the colonized people of this country. When the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, all the empires, the British Empire, when they decided to come to the colonies, they regarded first, they were driven by a philosophy that said, we are divine slaves as the colonized. And in that, they arrogated unto themselves the right to be divine owners of the slaves. And therefore, the slave is supposed to disappear and not have any opinion, but he must be available in the service of the slave master. And this issue says, now that they are suffering the paralysis of perspective in relation to Nelson Mandela, we must therefore now accept that the colonizer or the slave master wants us to join him, and we must not have a view on that.
Sorry, Honorable MEC.
Because
Sorry, Honorable MEC.
Because
On what point are you raising on, Honorable? On what rule are you raising on?
I hope uyibambile imizuzu yami, Deputy
Yes,
Speaker.
yes.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise on Rule 101. And perhaps for you to make a ruling on, I know it's a good sermon about religion, but the relevance to the debate of local government in the Cocta report before us, it would be for you as the presiding officer to make a ruling on that, please, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Okay.
We are all fascinated by this.
It's fine. You can
know,
take your seat.
But it's not about local government.
Yeah, it's fine. You can take your seat. Thank you. All right, you can continue, Honorable
Thank you
MEC.
very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. So the issue now is because they are facing a precipice, because the results of the recent elections have indicated to some a drop, and some must therefore use the divine slaves to regain power. We will not accept that. Now, the biblical Thomas is blaming the biblical Judas Iscariot as a sellout. But the intention was one, to assault Jesus Christ. So I take this sermon with a pinch of salt and critic. And as I learned, Honorable Speaker, the bucket system, which I said was an insult to when the right-wing coalition was leading this metro, transcend their racial orientations and go to that township and say, as this right-wing metro, we are removing bucket system from this township. Now, we must be manipulated today to be told that those people whom they anyway left without attending to them. And I am arguing, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that we will not kowtow to the right-wing forces. And the portfolio committee was correct. Ours is to fix the Nelson Mandela Metro. And we've started with that. We've appointed the acting city manager. Today, we've appointed a doctor who is a disaster specialist, permanently appointed. We're going to be here for the next 3 weeks to resolve service delivery issues in relation to stormwater drainage system, sewer spillages, electricity outages, and all manner of services that must be delivered to our communities. We're determined, Honorable Speaker, to make this city work again. And if we remember, Honorable Speaker, in the years 2000 to 2006, Nelson Mandela was a pride of our province, with unqualified audits well managed. And I'm saying our determination is to take it back to that status. We have trained Nelson Mandela on the risk-adjusted strategy to prevent any loss of funding.
2 minutes
Both
left.
councillors and officials, including the media, were part of that strategy. And we're determined that within no time, we will resolve those challenges. The 100 vacancies that we have witnessed, which have contributed to the disasters that we have experienced, we have impressed on the acting city manager to quickly ensure that those positions are filled so that the city can get back to work. We will not be derailed from this. We are committed to ensure that the Public Accounts Committee functions and all portfolio committees of this municipality functions according to the law. In concluding, Honorable Speaker, our pressing issues is not to be preoccupied with political orientations, is to resolve people's problem. I think Honorable MEC Ngata has been raising that issue. If you are overly obsessed with political orientation, you'll even forget our people. And ours is to focus on the pressing problems that are facing our people. But they're chosen because the slave master chooses the best divine slaves amongst other slaves. Now, the best divine slaves is the one who behaves even more than the slave master. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable members, I now put the report of the Portfolio Committee on the Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs. Objections? Thank you. Honorable members, all the reports for the day have been dealt with. Ted, I will now call upon one of my team members to give guidance on what's going to happen tomorrow. Announcement for the House so that when you wake up tomorrow after the sitting, which will be virtual, you know where you are expected to go. Over to you, KB.
DS, good afternoon to yourself and to the honorable members. I don't know if the AV team, if you could please flight the legacy projects, please. Okay. All right. Thank you, honorable members. We will also share this on the WhatsApp group of members. For the Letsima legacy projects, honorable members, group 1 is health, and the name of the legacy project is the upgraded digital integrated security system at Joseph Pearson TB Hospital. The venue is the Battle Stop in Lillian Dedricks. The members for group 1, which is health, are MEC Chapa, Honorable Vimbayo, Honorable Saziwa, Honorable Bonga, Honorable Mbonyana, Honorable Bodoza, Honorable Cowley, Honorable Mkocho. I'm not going to read the honorable councillors because they are not here. Then the second group is the Dr. Dar group. The Dr. Dar group has 7 projects, but they will be handed over with sites in one site. The members that are part of that group, the venue is the Swartkops and Dr. Dar offices under Alex Matikin. The members who are part of group 2, Dr. Dar group, with the 7 projects to be handed over is Honorable Konsiwe, Honorable Dr. Bese, Honorable Makashela, Honorable Keleku, Honorable Grechana, Honorable King, Honorable Vena, Honorable Hendricks, Emisim Voko, Honorable Nana, Honorable Camelio Benjamin, Honorable Matikizela, Honorable Mueller, and Honorable Buya. I'm not going to read again the councillors. Then the DESRAC, which is group 3, the venue is the Divert Rugby Stadium. They'll be handing over sports equipment and attire, and that falls within the Government cluster. The members going to DESRAC is Honorable Ngongo, Honorable Kaya, Honorable Nyalambisa, Honorable Pretorius, Honorable Vanju, Honorable Mampofu, Honorable Evers, Honorable Aloni. That would be the last one, Honorable Aloni. Then social development is our group 4. They are going to the Masibambisane home-based care in Joslovo under Champion Galela. The members are MEC Williams, Honorable Duba, Honorable Makubela, Honorable Mankatla, Honorable Mjajubane, Honorable Dr. Fig, and Honorable Ngobo. That's social development at Joslovo under Champion Galela. DEDIT is group 5. We've combined, DEDIT has two handovers, 2 legacy projects. So they are group 5 and group 6 because the handover, the legacy projects for DEDIT cover 2 clusters. So we have one project, which is the cleanup of the trading enterprises for farmers, trading enterprises trading as farmers market. It's a 65 Caledon Street, Ekareja. The second one is the Nelson Mandela Stadium electric vehicle charging station, and Nelson Mandela Stadium under Molly Blackburn. For group 5, which is the cleanup trading enterprises, which is here, which is in Kareja rather, we have Honorable Peters, Honorable Souls August, Honorable Khone, Honorable Pongo, Honorable Fitlane, Honorable Tony, Honorable Kasim, Honorable Njoli, Honorable Erasmus, Honorable Odendal, and Honorable Gayla. Then group 6, who are going to the electric vehicle charging station in the Nelson Mandela Stadium under Molly Blackburn. That group will now be led by Honorable Koboshian. Honorable Ngata is no longer available. We'll also have Honorable Gunuza Nkwencha, Honorable Koboshiane. Okay, I did say it's no longer led by Honorable MEC Ngata now. The leader there is Honorable Koboshiane. We have Honorable Mahatosi, pardon me, Honorable Aramse, Honorable Kruger, Honorable Pillay. Those are the members going to Group 6 for the electric vehicle charging station. Then we have Education Group, which is Group 7, going to the Gamble Street is a College Hill under Zolanina. The members going there is MEC Gade, Honorable Sondaba, Honorable Jali, Honorable Tebekana, Honorable Odendal, Honorable Zinti, as well as Honorable Otoyi. Then the last group is Human Settlements, that I can't pronounce. It's Honorable Luciti, Honorable Tuabu, Honorable Matiwane, Honorable Lizo, Honorable Konza, Honorable May, as well as Honorable Dr. Knudze, and lastly, Honorable Chocho. Just to indicate, honorable members, that social development was not the part of the initial programs submitted, but that group is, so the group led by Honorable Williams is now responsible for social development. Initially, we did not have social development, but now because we have Honorable MEC Williams is allocated to lead that group. As I indicated, honorable members, for Dr. Da, whilst they have 7 projects to hand over, they will all converge in one venue. But their projects benefit and beneficiaries from Molly Blackburn, Champion, and as well as Champion Galela. But the central venue where they would then be handing these is the Alex Matikinga. Transport will communicate the transport details via the members' WhatsApp group, but we have plenary between 8 and roughly 9 o'clock. It's 5 minutes each, the tabling of the annual reports. Then the buses will be ready, marked with where they are going. We'll mark them so that it's easy for members to know which bus to get on immediately after the virtual plenary to take the tabling of the annual reports. Thank you so much, DS.
Honorable members, we are missing 7 interpretation gadgets. So if maybe by mistake you happen to put it in your bag by mistake, please ensure that they are you remember to put them back. I know a mistake does happen. It's not like maybe. Honorable members, we have came to the end of the discussions and the business for today. On behalf of the executive of the legislature, I wish to extend a word of appreciation to the members and the public, even though a few is with us now. But it's important that we appreciate their participation on this program. We wish to express our utmost gratitude to the Troika of Nelson Mandela Bay and the councillors that formed part of this gathering, the traditional and Khoisan leadership, and all stakeholders in this area for ensuring that they form part of this program and it meaningfully while discussing. Without them and everyone that form part, we wouldn't have done it on our own. A special gratitude to the Deputy Executive Mayor who has been with us since yesterday and today, as well as the speaker of the council, Honorable Johnson, Eugene Johnson, as well as the chief whip of the Metro, Councillor Chikeka, for setting aside everything that they could have done and decided that they're going to spend the entire 3 days with us. A special word of gratitude to the team of officials from the Metro under the leadership of the acting municipal manager, Mr. Mandela George, for the cooperation and assistance since our arrival here in the Metro, in particular at the Ernest Sonepol Hall in September 2024. You are an embodiment of public servants. Equally so, honorable members, all officials of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure for assisting with repairs to the hall together with the Nelson Mandela Bay. Thank you also to all government departments who worked with our team to put up a successful program such as this one. Your work will never go unnoticed. Thank you for being there, for answering and guiding our team in the right direction. Thank you to our host, Councillor Sonepol, who kindly opened all doors for us at the Sonepol Hall and the Dispatch City Hall. Our staff is led by the Secretary. Your tireless and relentless work has once again paid off. You're the best. You're the best. Yes. Honorable members, thank you for your attendance to the plenary for the past 3 days. The House will adjourn until tomorrow, the 25th of October, at 8 o'clock, for the tabling of the annual report, which will be virtually. The House is adjourned. Thank you.